have our N13 series of solenoid valve coils. Now N13 is just our code, but what the 13 denotes is a 13mm operator. So this hole in the middle suits a 13mm operator. This coil will come down and over the top of a solenoid valve operator, and purely the diameter is. Now you can have it, within, half a mil or something, so it can be a little bit loose, but it needs to be the right size, otherwise the magnetic field that the armature creates, that the solenoid valve creates, will not lift the armature inside the operator tube. Now the other important thing to note when sizing a solenoid valve coil to a solenoid valve, these will fit any solenoid valve, is the height. So the height must be correct. So you've got the power and the height, that's purely from the bottom to the top of the solenoid valve coil. This is really the height that the magnetic field's created on, and the power. Now the power, we would call this 15 watts or 11 volt amps. Now that's a generic rating of the series. They vary a little bit within each voltage. So we go from 12 volt right through to 415 volt AC. Now you do get a LED DIN plug with each coil. Lots of people sell the coil and DIN plug separately. We include it. We figure that you need one, or at least you can hold it with a spare if it's replacing existing coil and DIN plugs. Okay. Now the 415 volt won't have an LED. That'll be a black DIN plug. All the rest of the voltages will. Now if we take this cap off the end here, you can see the terminals on the coil. So you've got three terminals. You've got an earth, which is this flat one, and then you've got a positive and negative, or a negative and positive. It doesn't matter, it's not polarity conscious. If you're in DC, if you're in AC, you've got a neutral and live, or live and neutral. Again, it's not polarity conscious. So if you're wiring this up, you'll have your DIN plug wired already. Now this will slide, we'll put the gasket on first. It's important to have the gasket in between them. The gasket will slide across the top of your terminals, and then your DIN plug will go over. Now we have a separate video on how to wire a DIN plug. If you're interested, just look under the DIN plugs on the website. Once that's on, you will just screw up this retaining screw here, and that will hold the DIN plug on the coil. Now this DIN plug is an IP65 rating. So one common problem we see, or probably the most common problem we see of why coils have failed, is either this is facing upright, so the entrance into the DIN plug is facing upright and water gets in, or the drip loop's not big enough, or it's the incorrect size cable gland's been used. So you really want to keep water out of here. So if you can have it facing down, you can change this orientation. Again, have a look at the DIN plug video on how to do that.